Hey guys, welcome to today's video. I have a ton of products that betrayed me, things that I would not recommend you spend your money on. We're gonna start with setting sprays. This new one from Milani, I spent like 17, 18 bucks on this at Ulta. This is the Make It Last Microfine Mist. The claims are it's gonna give you up to 16 hours of wear. Now, I love their original spray form of Make It Last. That is a great product. The problem with this one is the scent is really aggressive. The nozzle has already failed me, even though I have a very full bottle. It is spraying literally out the side. I'm like kind of afraid to spray it because it's, if you can see, it's like kind of dripping everywhere, and then sometimes it'll jut out the side and you'll get like a squirt of it on your face, and like I am not here for that. I'm not here for a product that I paid a lot of money for to be disrupting my makeup and to have an error so quickly. Beyond that, it is a super sticky formula, and I don't find that to be the case with the L'Oreal Infallible or the Until Dawn from One Size. I'm gonna go ahead and say I was really excited to have an aerosol mist from Milani. I thought that was exciting and cool, but there are so many things about it that I just do not like. Pass. Number 7, Pro Artist Finishing Spray. The bottle is very sleek and elegant. I love so much from number 7, so I was surprised that I did not like this one. It is super sticky and the mist is very aggressive. Now, the weird thing with this mist is it's almost like it's adding texture to your makeup, which is an absolute hard pass for me. The shine that you get from it is not so much a glowy dewy, it's more this vinyl-y texture enhancing situation that I don't really care how long it makes my makeup last. I do not want my skin looking the way it looks when I use this spray. So for those reasons, pass. Melt Cosmetics Blur Cream. Now this is a texture smoothing primer. That sounds great right there. Give me all of the smoothing that I can handle before I go in with my foundation. This didn't do much at all. It literally went on like a lotion. It smells like shampoo. Like it has such an interesting scent. It's not terrible, but it's definitely noticeable. It doesn't do much at all. I saw this on TikTok. It looked like it would do amazing things for me and I regretted my purchase immediately. Love Melt Cosmetics. They have fantastic eyeshadows, but this primer is a pass. Oh my gosh, did you guys see my wrap brow review? Please tell me. I really feel like the wrapping everything from wrapping liner to wrapping brow to tubing mascara, wrapping mascara, it is all marketing. Tubing or wrapping mascara, fine. Like I love it. I love it all day, but I think it needs to end there. So this was a pass. This just got everywhere. It was too thick in texture. The brush is literally giving Dior show. It is just way too big for a brow product. And you get so much product glopped on here that even if you wipe it off, you will go in and it will still get absolutely everywhere. Ooh, gosh, I have another one from Revolution. And you guys, like, I love Revolution. Do not get me wrong. And while I'm filming this, by the way, I am trying a new foundation. Let me know. I'm not going to say what it is. Do we like it? Do we not? I think it's a little bit light for me. It's like oily and dry at the same time. I don't know how to feel about this, to be honest. We're in a season where there are so many new foundation launches that I keep trying new, and not a lot of them are impressing me, which is so disappointing. But let me know in the comments, do we like my foundation today or not? I will include what I'm wearing after I've done a full day wear test with it in an upcoming hit or miss new foundation launches video. Stay tuned for that. Okay, where were we? We have one more Makeup Revolution item. Sorry, Makeup Revolution. Love you so much, but this product right here, the Contour and Blend, I have the shade Medium. It's very cool toned if you're looking for something to truly contour and you're over everything being very bronzy. The color of this is very cool toned. I do appreciate that for what it is. The brush completely breaks off when you are going into blend. It'll just kind of snap off, and you can get it to snap back on, kind of like it twists back on, but it's just very flimsy. When you go to blend this out, be prepared for it to be very uneven and patchy. It's almost like it wants to pill right away too. So the texture, the blend, the brush, everything about it, I did not like. Update on this Wet n Wild What the Fluff Mother Fluffer. What are we calling this? The name is kind of funny. It's like a moussey whipped texture. It looks awful in the container. The glass container is quite nice, but the texture of this is just like, ew. It's just giving ew through and through, you guys. You try to get this on your brush and it just does not, like, are you seeing this? Come on. The blend is terrible. It is uneven. The whipped parts stay very thick in some spots and then blend out in others, and you end up not just with patches, but streaks. It looks like you're smearing poop on your face. And that's just, I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. And then you get it on your nails and everything, and it's hard to get a brush in here too. So it's just like, oh my God, what are we doing? Why? Like why? Why? Wet n Wild. I love you. I love you. This is not it. If you are really into the whipped pudding, that kind of a sensation with your products, I will say the one that I'm loving the most is from Catrice. Now, it's not a contour or bronzer, it's a blush. It's their pudding blush, and that one actually smooths on the skin, gives you like this nice velvetized finish, but this one, utter disappointment. Utter disappointment. Oh, no, no. Who saw my Ulta haul? You guys, literally, I stood in Ulta and I waited for them to get the new display in the back. I was like, oh my gosh, I love the lifter glosses so much. This is gonna be epic. It is a gel oil hybrid. It has a really cool applicator. We have different flavors. This is super cute. Until I put it on. I refuse to put this on for you guys. Like, I love you. I will do a swatch. First of all, I don't know that I like the applicator. I thought it was kind of cool, the plastic tip applicator. I'm like, that could be kind of nice. Putting it on, it does make it a little bit uneven because you don't have the cush from a nice doe foot applicator, which is the traditional way to go. But with makeup, every launch is trying to be different and unique, and this was just maybe a little bit too different and unique with the applicator. That's not the problem. The problem is it is scented to be like a particular fruit. Melonade, passion juice, vanilla horchata. You're thinking that these are gonna be giving like, ooh, like a nice passion fruit or vanilla, like they're all scented a little bit different, which is kind of fun because you're not getting a ton of pigmentation. Like with this one, you kind of are, but with most of them, it's just like this nice hint of color with a lot of juicy, oily shine, right? They all have this base ingredient. I don't know what it is. I have never encountered this in a lip product, period, where for hours, if I was eating potato chips, I was tasting like this weird plasticky chemical perfume thing on my mouth that I could not wash off my mouth. I could not get rid of it. It stayed permanently with me for way too long, drove me crazy, drove me crazy. Please tell me, have you tried these? Have you experienced what I am experiencing? Because I like the formula. I'm even fine with the weird applicator, but the taste of them is just not it. Another hard pass is from Moira. Now, I did get sent these. I feel a little bit bad for dogging on them so hard, but I'm gonna go ahead and say this is one of the worst launches from Moira, period. I like the texture. I like the glimmer. I like the duochrome. I think there's a place for a product like this, nice big juicy doe foot applicator. The scent is nice and tropical and it does not linger in a weird way like the Maybelline, so the scent is okay. It's not like I hate scent and everything. It just has to not give me like a yucky taste as well, you know what I'm saying? So everything across the board, even the packaging, I really, really love. What I cannot stand is that the base in these is pH adjusting. Your mouth turns not just kind of pink. It's one of those pH adjusters where your mouth is literally neon pink and it somehow keeps darkening. And then you go to take it off. Literally, I kid you not. I woke up after taking this off the next morning. I look in the mirror and my lips are still neon pink. The stain does not go away. It is extremely intense. It's not a flattering pink either. To be honest, I really don't know who can enjoy this. And also this kind of a duochrome in my mind belongs over a deep lipstick if you want to have the option to have more fun with it. You can't really put this over like a deep lipstick and get that duochrome gloss effect with it shifting into like a neon pink. All in all, just a weird product. It stains immediately. Oh my gosh, this foundation is killing me. I'm doing a fails video and I've decided that my foundation itself is a fail. And I've only had it on for like a couple of hours, so I feel like I should give it a full day wear test, but this is the new one from Smashbox. I don't think I like it. I don't think I like it. It's just breaking apart all over my forehead. My lines feel enhanced and it's kind of crackling right through here and getting shiny around my nose. When I put it on at first, I enjoyed it, but now I'm glancing in the monitor and I'm like, it's already falling apart, and it's only been like literally maybe 3 hours of wear time. And I just expect more from a foundation. Which leads us into our next product. I spent good hard cash on this one, Mary Phillips Le Skin. I'm in the shade medium 110. I love the shade. This goes on greasy. Now, a lot of people are loving this. I am not the one. I think it falls apart quickly. I didn't find that it melted into the skin as much as I wanted it to. It didn't do enough in the coverage department or really even evening me out. However, I will say this, if you have very dry skin, the people that I see that are loving this product have more dry skin. So that might work if your skin is much more dry than me. Mine gets very oily pretty quickly around the nose, on the forehead. And this one I just could not get, again, to sink into my skin to save my life. So it was kind of moving around and then powder was clinging to it funny, and it was just a mess. Primer that I'm not here for from Tarte, which is so strange for me to say because you guys know I love the Tarte Poreless Smoothing Primer. I will forever stand by that primer. I have it right next to me. I used it today. This one, the Ballin base, this guy right here, it's like these little balls that you squeeze the primer through and you kind of massage it on your face. It's just gimmicky. It's just super gimmicky. This gets all crusty and dirty really quickly. It does not give you the same fill as the Timeless Smoothing Primer in the jar, and this is a pass. Tatcha, I love your skincare, but these balms are so expensive, the melting balm, and they just didn't do enough. Like compared to everything else that I have in my drawer of lip balms that all come in the same packaging, this one was just not juicy enough, plushy enough, thick enough. There's too much competition when it comes to this kind of a formula, and you can get it done on a much better price point. So for that alone, this is a pass. I have more fails than I thought I did. Okay, let's wrap this up, you guys. Estee Lauder, greasy, waxy. I thought I liked this one at first because when you put this on the eyelid, it does seem to smooth everything out. I tried this out in my $1,500 face where pretty much nothing worked. If you want to watch that video, I will link it below for you guys. I genuinely thought I liked this one at first, and then I was noticing that on the days when I was using this as my base, my eyeshadow was creasing, which is not what you want from an eyeshadow primer. It has almost a waxy texture to it, and it doesn't have a lot of opacity like Painterly Paint Pot, or like if you're using P. Louise, it's nothing like that. It looks like it would give that, but it doesn't. So it goes on almost clear. The problem is it gets kind of gummy, and then throughout the day, you're noticing that your eyeshadow is creasing, which defeats the whole purpose. Natasha Denona. Now I wanted to obsess over this, you guys. This is a waterproof, water-resistant powder. If we all saw over on IG, she literally was like dunking a brush, I think, in a cup of water and water going on the face. And like, we get the whole idea. It's giving Carslin. You guys know I love so much. So I got very excited thinking, oh my gosh, we have a higher end powdered version. This, for some reason on the face, gums up your foundation like nothing else. It literally, if you have any moisture on the skin, it will pill up and then it won't blend out and it will destroy your makeup. If you manage to get a coat of this on the face evenly, be prepared to need to touch up within like an hour because there's something about this powder that does not lock anything into place. I feel like it accelerates the breakdown of the makeup. So for that reason, I'm gonna go ahead and say this one's a pass. There you have it, you guys, all of the products that have done me dirty recently. I hope you enjoyed this video, even though it is a more negative one. We need to know what doesn't work along with what does. So if you like this kind of a thing, go ahead and give the video a thumbs up. And other than that, go and have a great day, whatever you are doing. I love you, and I will see you all in my next video. Mwah.